Hello, I am Dorgan Kishu, Paladin and Dragon Rider, and James Mahoney. I just wanted to create this video a couple months back. Well, first of all, I published my. People have followed me on Twitter last year probably already know this. Last November 8th, I published my first 5e Dungeons and Dragons 5e module, Frost Realm, and a couple months ago, I decided that I wanted to throw it up onto Roll20, not in an official way, but just in makeshift kind of way, in case I wanted to run it for somebody, or my girlfriend runs our second campaign. If she wanted to run it for any group at any time, I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. And also, I am working on a new module, Hycon, which is a campaign setting / adventures module. It's taking a little bit longer. In fact, to try to get some funds for the illustrator for Hycon, I created a second edition Frost Realm cover. Some of you guys may have seen that as well. That's also available. But I want to get right to the Roll20, so let me get that up and going. It's whoops. Okay, let's just launch it. Okay, and then I will come over here and share screen. You guys can see it. This is actually the third time I've recorded this. First time I didn't have sound, so you couldn't hear the music. Second time the music was too loud because when I share the screen, the music in Roll20 it records louder than I'm actually hearing it. So hopefully this will be all right. We'll check it out. All right. Just slide my little face over here. Let me get out of this screen. What I'll do is, maybe you can hear some music now. I can't quite hear it because I had to set it lower. Let me just cruise over to music. And I don't think I have any music playing. Okay. Yeah, so what I would do for a group is, yeah, I can hear it now. For me, it's light, but you guys, it's probably pretty loud or loud enough. All right. So basically, I would, this picture here is not in my module, but it was one of the pictures that I went when I was first developing Frost Realm. I went and found pictures that made me think of Frost Realm to inspire me in the writing of it, and also to figure out what kind of drawings I wanted. So this is much larger than actually the Fortress of Frost Realm, but it definitely gave me that feeling I was looking for. And the music you're hearing now, I've used it in my Frost Realm podcast. I've used it for vlogs. I like the tinkling sound. It makes me think of cold, and it has like a dream kind of immersive kind of quality to it. So I thought that's how I'd probably start if I was DMing it. So this is the picture I would start. As far as starting the adventure, can start in 3 different places, but we'll start out with, if we started where we're going to go to the southern town of Cray. Cray is a southern port of Norwin. Norwin is an extremely cold continent, the coldest continent in my material realm that I homebrewed. Even in the most northern, coldest part of other continents, it's not nearly as cold as Norwin. And even though this is the southern port of Norwin, Cray, it's still extremely cold. So I would begin with an ocean voyage, which I will probably add a ship, some kind of picture of a ship in this. Let me find, let's see here. Okay. Wait 1 second. Okay, actually I'm getting ahead of myself, so I'm gonna go back to this. Yeah, so what I would do is I would throw on some ocean voyage music. I would leave this Norwin music in the background, kind of add a immersive ambiance. Then I would enter the ocean voyage music. If you can hear that. And then I would, role play or do whatever we do, then I would move towards the docks of Cray. This is a very pixelated picture that I found online, but you can tell what it is. It's a cold region and it has ships. Once you move into that, I would start to play the dock music along with the ocean voyage music. Probably get rid of the tinkling music. And then once you know you're kind of cruising into welcome to Cray. Cray is a big trade southern port for Norwin. And but the other reason people that come to Cray is to go to the famous Frosty Tankard Tavern. When you've been at sea for a while, you miss the warmth and bitefulness of a tavern, and so you might swing by Cray to go to the Frosty Tankard. Right, so now I'm going to get rid of the Ocean Voyage music, and I'm going to bring in the Merchants of Cray music. There's a lot of merchants here. Players can do whatever they do there, and hopefully make their way to the tavern. So we'll slowly get rid of the docks music, bring in a wind. I'm hoping all these sounds are hearable because I'm having to go at a really low volume. Then there'll be a wind, there'll be the merchants, maybe even throw in the Norwin tinkly music, and we'll make our way to the Frosty Tankard. Now this this drawing is also not in my book, but it's one I threw in here for Roll20. But it's, you know, I would have loved to have endless drawings in my first module, but I ran out of money, you know. But I really feel like with the budget that I did have, got some illustrations, I got borrowed some drawings people allowed me to use, got some maps, got some different things, so I was really happy with it. But yeah, for the Roll20 purposes, anybody that wants to run, also wants to run Frost Rhealm in Roll20, I can get you this music, I can get you some of these drawings if you want. I found this all online. So when we make it, okay, let me throw on the Tavern music. And we will remove the Norwin music as we move inwards, and remove the wind and move the merchants. And then you, whatever takes place in there, you start the adventure, you look for adventure, you know, whatever you do. I'm not going to go into details, but this is the Frosty Tankard, the traditional tavern beginnings of adventuring, which I really like. Yeah, so then if you are in there long enough, you'll reach the second song, which is this one here. Yeah, so that's if you're in that tavern for a while. It should loop all the way I have it set up. So those are the two songs I chose. All of these songs are free. I got them off a site with free songs. Like I said, I can get them to you if you want to do Roll20 and you'd like some of this music. Get everybody immersive, get the players into it. Then after whatever happens in there, if you guys move outside again, we'll kick up the Norwin tinkly music, get rid of the tavern music, and bring up back the wind. When you're actually in game, you can adjust all these volumes. Right now, I'm just going by. I'm hoping that these are perfect volume for you guys. For me, they're very low. All right, not to repeat myself. All right, so then if you're going to travel across the Screer, let's bring up our Screer picture. Oh, I didn't even tell you what the Screer is. That would be good. Let's see here. The Screer, okay, first of all, you are, and I threw together this map, you got ocean here, you got Cray, which is the southern port of Norwin. Ocean, then you have the icy, it's like a sheet of ice. It's an ice wasteland. It's called the Screer. You have to travel 3 days north just to reach the Warlord Peaks, which surround the Trigon. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, so at this point, what I would do, I would actually turn on the Screer music if they start to travel across this. Whether they do it just as a party or they have mercenaries or however they do it. And I will get rid of the tinkling music for now. Leave the wind up. Do the Screer music. Travel. You have to travel for a few days. Very cold, very bad visibility, very dangerous. So yeah, that'll be a fun little part of the adventure that you may or may not survive. The second place that an adventure can start in the module is right here in front of the Warlord Peaks, which surrounds, like I said, the Trigon, which is where the Frost Realm Fortress is. But right here, the Warlord Peaks, yeah, so you'll have to travel over the Warlord Peaks for about a day and a half to get into the Trigon. And now that's the second place you can start, is right there. It's all explained in the module. And then if you go into the Trigon, let's do that. And we'll switch music again. Turn off the Screer, turn off the Winter Wind. Do this all in probably a more transitional way. I'm just kind of, this is the Trigon music, which is designed to be creepy. Now this is sheets of ice, just not even rain, it's ice, blind, freezing, you feel wet. It's supposed to be spooky, it's supposed to be creepy, this music. It's supposed to be kind of a scary, creepy, blinding location. If you actually adventure where you climb over the northern peak, Warlord Peaks, you'll end up somewhere over here, near the fortress, but you're not necessarily going to the fortress. The adventure, you can either go to the fortress or you can try to get to the dungeon of the fortress, which there's two different ways into the dungeon. And I won't go into too much detail. There are different reasons you may or may not go to the fortress right away. Dungeon's more dangerous than the whole adventure is levels 5 to 8. The fortress, potentially the dungeon is more dangerous. It's better if you're level 7 or 8, party of 5. But if you're not a party of 5, you're bigger. If you're smaller, you adjust to all that. Fortress can be dangerous, of course, because the main guys are there, the main Dark Prince and his wizard. But really the dungeons are designed to be more dangerous than the fortress. All right, so this is supposed to be spooky, and if you decide, let's say you don't talk much about the... Oh, this is also, the reason this is called a trigon is because there's like a triangle. And the southern part is the point, which is Frost Realm Fortress. This drawing here was, I actually got permission to use in the book. It kind of symbolizes the fortress. It doesn't actually look like that, but I have maps of the fortress, at least maps for, you know, as far as playing the game on. Yeah, so for the triangle, there's this, and then off the upper right is the Great Tower. I won't talk about what's in there. It's on the upper right. The left is the Frost Giant's Maw, so this creates a triangle, upside down triangle. It's called a triangle. All right, so if you move, so let's say you guys do go to the Frost Giant's Maw for whatever reason, I won't get into that, but if you do, we will switch over to the Frost Giant's Maw map. I had drawn this, I kind of wanted to put it into the module just because I wanted some kind of diagram, but my girlfriend said the quality really wasn't, she wasn't criticizing it, she was just saying it wasn't quite as good as everything else, drawings and everything else, so I didn't put it in, but if you want it, I can get it to you. But yeah, I ran out of money in the Illustrator, so I guess I could. Yes, this is the entrance to the giant cavern called the Frost Giant's Maw. As you enter, we will switch up the music, turn on the tinkling music once more, turn off the trigon music, and there's one more, yeah, Frost Giant's Maw. I will blend the tinkling music with southern music. And the southern music reminds me of, parts of it remind me of Aliens, the second movie. So I won't go too far into the tavern, but then we will, another part of this whole adventure, you might and may or may not ever reach these underground tunnels, and I think it's uploading the picture. Anyway, we will switch the music for that. We'll get rid of the tinkly Norwin theme, and we will leave we'll do the same music as the Frost Giant's Maw, the cavern, the alien sounding music. And this is the entrance. The reason this picture's kind of dark because this is the Dungeon Master's view. If I was running, once the players see something, I would do this reveal thing. You just go bam, and then this section is revealed, and this is what they see. They don't see all this. That's why it's darker. But I'm not really teaching Roll20. I've never even ran anything on Roll20. I've only played in it, so I don't want to like try to teach too much because I haven't had an opportunity to. Hopefully I will, but I haven't had a chance to run people in this. Yeah, so I just covered it back up again. All right, so that's the music for the underground tunnel. Let me show you a different thing. There's the fortresses. I'll show maybe parts of those. I don't want to show a lot. I don't want to give away. Like even the dungeon, I want to be careful with. Let's bring that up and then bring it down if we need to. It's loading. There we are. It's blurry still, but it'll come. Yeah. So with the dungeon, that's a whole dungeon. I'm not going to show you the whole dungeon because you may play this and you don't want you to get to know things the DM should know. But the dungeon has two entrances to it. This is one of them as you go down these stairs, and I'm not going to go into detail how you get to these stairs or anything, but there's two ways into the dungeon. This is one, just to give you a peek into the beginnings of the dungeon. I was really shooting for an old school style, and I really felt like between my concepts and the illustrator's art and the maps, I feel really that it's like kind of an old school kind of D&D thing. Not that I played a lot of actual modules, because in order to play D&D, I wanted to play so bad when I was a kid. The only way I could play was end up dungeon mastering, and by doing that, I homebrewed. And well, anyway, that's another story. So but the dungeon music is different. Let's go ahead and might leave this music going too, the music from the tunnels and cave. We're going to add this dungeon music right here. I'm going to quiet the other music from this. You can really hear the dungeon music. Hopefully you can. And then I'll bring in this other music with it. Kind of create the dungeon feeling. There's another area. It's kind of an underground cavern somewhere, maybe, that you may never get to. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the music for that really quick here. It's right here. And that's just underground caverns. I'm going to turn up really quick. It might cover your ears for a second. Hold on a second. I just want to check something. Yeah, it's not working. For some reason, I have been having to restart Roll20 in order to get the underground music working. So I'll do that really quick. Just stop sharing for a second. Get into Roll20 and get out of that for a second and get back into it. Just because I just want you to hear this music. It's kind of cool. Roll20. Okay. Back over to Zoom. Hopefully this won't be too loud. I'm probably going to turn it down a little bit because it just plays a lot louder for you guys than for me. Yeah. Turn down just a little. That's caverns, which are a very small part of this whole thing, but if you ever reach them, it's very cool. And then just a quick sneak peek at the, whoops, I don't want to be showing all this. All right, sneak peek at the fortresses. I'm not going to really show them. Just this is one of the possible entries. It's up here. Let's see, and then that's level 1 to 3 level map. These maps are actually from my module. I just uploaded them into, yeah, and I actually drew these. I didn't draw the other things. I designed the maps, but I had an illustrator actually make them digital. But anyway, these little things I did because I forgot to have the illustrator do it. It came out okay. So yeah, okay. So that's about it. I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Any of you guys that want to run Rhealm or have Rhealm and want maybe some of this stuff, the music, whatever. I got it off, like I said, the music's off a free site, and I got some images that, but I can try to share it with you. I hope I get an opportunity to run it through the thing I did, kind of give some ambiance. I love doing the ambiance thing. I've never dungeon mastered online, actually. I've only dungeon mastered in person. My girlfriend's been dungeon mastering online, our second campaign, and I have played online, but as a dungeon master, I would like to DM sometime online. It'd be fun. Roll20's fine. I mean, I know there's other things I just have never tried, but that's enough for this. And I appreciate you checking this out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything about this stuff or Rhealm or anything or Hycon or anything, just let me know. And thanks for checking this out.